right, let's get this second one out. There we go. Perfect. Set this down just like so. Check that it works. Always make sure it works. Never take for granted the the bait runner is set proper. Always check that. What's up, guys? Right here again, my very favorite spot in the entirety of the Houston area, Brays Bayou. Specifically, a certain section of it that I just cannot get enough of. Got a little bit ground bait out there, paste bait, kind of a mixed bag really. Let me show you what we're working with today. So I've just got all this mashed up stuff that I just pulled out of my kitchen. Bread, corn, dog food, syrup, bunch of good stuff. Doesn't sound good to us, but the fish will love it. And I've got it in a cage feeder sitting down there, and I'm using my chod hooks today. Chod hooks have a very specific square shape to them. The last time I was out here, I missed a load of good Asian grass carp because I was using a different configuration of hook that I think was pulling out of their mouth. Some motorist on his way by. That's how you know it's one of my videos. You can always hear somebody driving by. Interesting thing. Oh, there's a fish right there. There's a big Plecostomus catfish down there. I was going to say, interesting thing, a lot of animals that are quite used to living near highways or railways become very used to the sound of motor vehicles, but they still fear the sound of human voices. It's very interesting that they can make that distinction. There's a fish. Oh, 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 oh. A horrible feeling of line grating on concrete. Let's get your head above the edge. Get your head above the edge. There he is. Let's just work him over this way. There he goes. There he is. Nice. That is a good first fish, and he took, I mean, probably 2 or 3 minutes after we put the bait in. Try to work our way down there. Trying to keep a tight line to him. Yeah, that's what I was afraid was gonna happen. Whoosh. Look at him, that big trail he's left behind here. All right, here we go. It's the one challenge of fishing with a long rod, but he's in. He's in, we got him. All right, let's get it back up. Get him on camera. These guys just go nuts. These guys just go nuts. All right, looks out. Hold still, hold still, hold still. You're gonna go back. You're gonna go back. There we go. Nice Asian grass carp. Beautiful first fish of the day. Couple of minutes in and a great fish to show for it. You know, 4 or 5 pounds worth of fish. Really pretty. Absolutely love these guys. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful animal. Shouldn't be here, but nonetheless, he is a pretty looking thing. Let's go ahead and, yes, put him back. Get him in the net. We'll take him down there with the net. Here we go, just lower him down in there. And yes, this is an invasive species. However, it is not one where the population, there he goes. It's not one where the population is still questionable and that catch and kill methods would work. Catch and kill is not going to do anything against these guys. There's got to be a new solution. Just gonna move spots a little bit. Come downstream a bit further. Well, we've only got about maybe 20 minutes usable light left in the day. The bites slow down a whole lot. Mostly having small cichlids just kind of pick away at the bait on my hook. So I think we're going to continue this again probably in the morning. So we'll call it quits for the night. And we'll head back out to a bayou. Brays Bayou, Buffalo Bayou, Sims Bayou, one of them. In the morning, maybe try to get some catfish next. Day number 2. I'm actually a little bit excited to come out to this park again. This is Arthur Story Park. I haven't been here in well over a year. Right next to the highway. And the wind is pretty strong today, so just bear with me here, but here we go. Oh, it looks good today. Of course, this is Brays Bayou. But let me show you where we're going. Over here behind me, this, I don't know what you would call that. It's not a dam or a weir. Culvert? Cul-de-sac? I don't know. No, cul-de-sac's where you drive. But this looks like a really good spot. Water's kind of high today, which is good. There's been a little bit of rain recently. Oftentimes that can get the fish quite excited. And a lot of the times in these bayous, particularly based on the slope of the concrete, higher water just gives you a little bit of an easier time getting down to the fish. Alright, same cage feeder system that we were using yesterday. Actually, it was the day before yesterday. Probably a week or so before you will see this. Let's go ahead and get some bait out. Now honestly, with fishing a bayou that's moving this slowly, being this close to it, you don't really need a feeder system like this. You could just take a few handfuls, put them in, and just fish the top of that. But we're already rigged up, and it works just as well. So we'll just go with it. So get a handful of this ground bait here. And by the way, this is, I think I mentioned this before, but sometimes I'll say something and it gets cut out in editing, so. This is a mix of bread, corn, dog food, cornmeal, syrup, just random stuff that was in my kitchen. I normally do an enormous amount of planning for the vast majority of these videos. There's a lot of forethought that goes into where I'm going, what I'm using, all this kind of stuff. But not this time. So basically I just raided the pantry and put together everything I could find that looked like a carp might like it. Cage feeder. Coming down to a hook bait. You'll notice the tip is well exposed on that. This should do quite nicely. Just gonna drop this right in the middle. It's about four feet deep, I would say. Pretty good. Pretty good for a carp, I think. Make sure that is on. If that bait runner is your starting gun, watching the rod tip in the line is the on your mark, get set. And right now it's bouncing a little bit, which means there's fish picking at the feeder. Yeah, very clear indications that there's fish feeding on the bait that I put in there. So I need to be ready, just primed to pick that thing up and stop a fish from running back into those tunnels. All right, guys, we're gonna use a little float, some shot, and a small hook on this rod. I think a bit of float fishing could be fun. And there's a really big bluegill right there. Really big one. Let's see. Let's just float it down along the edge here, edge of this drop off. See if we can get something. There's quite a few fish in here, mostly bluegill stealing my bait. I had one run on the big rod of a carp. Missed it. Let's try this far side over here. Let's just see what happens here. Ah, finally, a fish, tilapia. This is no doubt what is stripping the bait from my larger rig. Just these little guys right here. Just came up, took a piece of bread underneath the float. Nice looking fish. Let's see if we can get another one. A little piece of bread like this on a very small size 10 claw hook. And this bread is very flaky. It's not super sturdy, so I gotta kind of mold it around the hook. Just like that. I'm just dropping it right over the edge, right next to the steep concrete drop off here. Wind is making this quite difficult. Right here, right next to the edge is where we got that last pull. Wow! Look at that! Look at that for colors on a fish. That is something. Oh God, it's so feisty. Calm down. Gotta be careful. These tilapia have some serious spines, but my goodness gracious, guys, look at the colors on that fish. That vibrant red on his belly, on his tail. That is something special. Crazy looking fish and those red eyes. Wow, what an amazing looking animal. That is probably the prettiest one I've ever caught. Just drop him right there. I'm gonna try to see if we can get a bite right here next to us. Seems to be quite a few good bream in here, a little tilapia. Just get a little bit of bread. It's quite a delicate balance here between having a piece of bread that's too flaky. The smaller it gets, the flakier it is. And a bread that's just too big for a fish to take. These little tiny guys. Just drop it right next to us. way. Took the bait off. But I mean, that's not a bad thing. When you're fishing for small fish like this, if you're fishing for large fish and it takes your bait, it can be devastating. Just the knowledge that you've missed that strike. But with these tiny guys, they're gonna still be there. You miss them once, it's not that big a deal. Put it right back, you're still there. Missed him again. Sneaky little guy. I gotta be faster. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try putting one of the raisins on it. There's raisins in this bread. A raisin has got a lot more integrity, structural integrity than the bread flake do. The trade-off might be the fish won't take them quite as quickly. There we go. There's the fish. Tilapia on a raisin. There, look, I got my bait back too. You can see the raisin above my thumb. There we go. Not a bad fish. Quite a pretty fish. Try to get him in the sunlight. The sun's kind of at a strange angle to us right now. He's worked his way back to the water. Here he goes. Done freed himself. At least I got my raisin back out of that. So let's put this back on. Oh, he got off, Ah. Oh, okay. Not a tilapia. Oh my gosh. Oh God, it's a koi carp. Oh Lord, please, 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 I gotta get to the net. Oh my goodness. Oh God. Please, 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 please. Got it. Ha ha. Ha! So excited. Did carp fishing for years. Love it. My favorite type of fishing by far, and that includes shark fishing. Finally got a fish that I am comfortable calling a koi carp. Oh, okay. And the best part is that I was not expecting this at all. Let's get him up. Try to be nice and gentle with this guy. Get the hook out. Hook's out. And this is the part where I want to be really careful because I don't want to lose him by just accidentally dropping him in the water. The odds of catching a fish like this again, pretty slim. Look at, yes I know I'm taking a risk, here we go, wash him off. Look at this gorgeous fish. Wow, what a beautiful, beautiful fish. This is by far the prettiest carp I think I've ever caught. What a fantastic looking animal. Just absolutely incredible. Came up into a bread flake under a float and has just made my entire day. Wow. So happy with this. What fantastic colors. What fantastic colors on this fish. What a beautiful animal. Look at that tail. What a fantastic, fantastic fish. I know he's ready to go back, and he has been with us long enough. Let's put him back in the water. Gosh, there he goes. There he goes. All right, guys, we got another decent fish on the line. Let's see who's home. Oh yeah, another little carp. Nice. Tiny little guy. Very nice. Look at that. Nice little carp. You can just swing this one up. Swing this one up. More traditional colors on this guy. Terrible wind out here. Kicking up a dust storm. But look, here's our second carp on raisins. There we go. Very small carp. Quite pretty. This one more traditional in its color, what you'd hear people refer to as the common carp, even though it's the same exact thing as what we just caught. Nice red tail. There's that fin. Really pretty fish. Let's go ahead and put him back. Just drop him right here. There he goes. Really good day. 2 carp, couple of tilapia. Just really nice. I mean, this water's disgusting. It's absolutely awful, but good day of fishing. Really want to give this back eddy on this other side a shot. So sitting on one side, I've got the current going away from us downstream. And sitting on this side, we'll have the current, the back current that is, coming towards us, going against itself upstream. And I think this will just be a really excellent spot to try to grab a couple more fish. So let's give this a chance right here on this far side of the bank. Raisin. It's kind of a mirror image of what we've been doing, but the water is doing something different. It's not just a case of trading one side for the other, but rather fishing a different water feature. All right, guys, there's another one. Another very small carp. Giving us a run all over the place. There he is. Small enough to flip over without doing any damage to. There's another one, very nice fish. This one's got a little bit of an injury. Keeled over, but you can tell something attacked it there when it was younger. Very small but colorful carp. This little section seems to be full of carp that are about this size. Maybe just 1.5, 2 pounds at the most. A lot of fun catching these. That's a big thing I think a lot of people should consider is, you know, one of the more common things about fishing is you say, oh, I caught a fish. How big was it? This is the first thing people think about. If you are down with catching small fish on light tackle, you will have so much fun. Because my goodness, are these things not just the best looking fish you've ever seen. Let's go ahead and get him back. There he goes. Let's keep at it. Get another fish on. What we got here? Oh, no wonder he felt so big. I think, yeah, just accidentally snagged him by the back of his dorsal fin. That's why he felt. I thought he was a bigger fish. Snagged fish always feel bigger because you don't have that same direct connection to them. That hook out. There we go. Nice little fish. Pretty. Put him back. And look, guys, this is what I'm using. I took the float off. I'm just using the smallest amount of bread over a very small, again, size 10 eagle claw hook. Just 2 shot on the line. And I'm just tossing it out there. And touch ledgering. Well, guys, I was trying to get all artistic with my camera shots, and a fish pulled my rod almost into the water, and I just caught the end of it as it was going over the side. That was almost a terrible, terrible, terrible end of the day there. But smacked my hand on the concrete in the process of grabbing it, but I did grab it, saved the rod, and got the fish. These things, just so many of these little commons in here. So pretty. I quite like catching these when they're this size. Just a lot of fun without so much of the hassle that goes into you know, normal carp fishing. You know, the bigger these the bigger they get, the older they are, the more intelligent they are. And carp are really smart. And they become really hard to catch. And there's a lot of just science behind setting up for pre-baiting, the type of bait you're using, the time of day, the methods by which you're fishing, the tackle, lead-lined leaders, and weights that look like stones, and just, it all works. And sometimes it's necessary, but when you have carp in these bayous that are just, you know, a pound or so, fishing for them takes on much of the same technique as just fishing for regular bluegill and bream and stuff like that. It's quite simple, just a little bit of bait on a very small hook, and you're in business. Guys, oh, we are on again. And again, very small fish. This one's quite dark in color. That is beautiful. Get it, it's tangled, there we go. Tangled around his pectoral, but we got it off. Because look at the difference in coloration on this one. You've got these black edges to the fins. And this one, just look at the size of his tail in comparison to the rest of his body. And if you look along the edges of his caudal fin, the tail fin, and then his dorsal fin, his pelvic, anal, and pectoral fins, just absolutely gorgeous black coloration on this fish. Quite beautiful. It's quite a lovely fish. Let's put this one back. Let him go. Beautiful. It is like a carp nursery down here. So many of these fish. I am running out of battery on both cameras because of how many of these fish I'm catching and filming. Just absolutely spectacular. You know, the other day came out here and just, or not out here, I came out fishing and just had such a slow day, so difficult. And now I'm just catching them just one after the next, and it just feels fantastic. I feel like you put in the work, and every now and then you're due a day like this. Just got to enjoy it, because I know very shortly I'll probably go out blank. That is the name of the game. Well, there's something different. After all the carp this place had to offer, there's a tilapia. Swing him over the side. And just unhook him right there. God, these things have enormous dorsal fins. There we go. Incredible pattern. These things have incredible patterning on them. Just absolutely amazing the way they look. Just truly, oh, there he goes. And he's free. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Alright guys, I reckon that'll just about do it for today. I've caught so many good fish today. I'm absolutely thrilled, but it is getting dark. We're running out of daylight. And we're starting to catch more turtles than fish, so all things considered, I think now is a great stopping point, but my goodness, these Houston bayous, they are just full of spectacular fish. Quite pleased with the way the day turned out. Raisins and bread with just the smallest tackle. Absolute blast out here, catching carp and tilapia. Anyway, lots more coming. Make sure you guys stay tuned. I think I'm supposed to say like and subscribe and hit the bell and all that. If you want to do that, I'd highly appreciate it. But anyway, stay tuned. More coming. Until it does, I'll see you guys later.